What the hell? I paused it. Hello? Okay. So this time I put the mic closer to me and I opted to go ahead and have the... I don't know how good this will be, how it'll work. Sorry for the I'm getting rid of those. Show up. Continue to show up every damn day. Show up, show up, show up. Because as you continue to show up, the world has nothing more to do. Well, there's a lot the world can do. However, as long as you continue to show up, can have that positive mindset that even just a bit progresses you forward, well, you're on the right track. You're doing amazing with that mindset. It is better than not showing up. You showed up. Take that as that small win. Take that, alright, and then the following day, show up, and maybe let's go ahead and do something that just looks fun. And then you show up again, and you're like, well, what else is fun in here? And you keep on doing it, and suddenly you're showing up, and you know which machines are fun for you, like fun to you, and your mind's working on, well, what else is needed for me to get to this particular point in your body's physique? What does it take to get there? And this is when you begin to wager between comfort and discomfort, and the sacrifices, as they talk about, that you have to make to succeed. These are the S words, like a snake. You're gonna molt off the old skin, sacrifice that old protective layer, the one that's hardened by all the other experiences that you have had, and to endure a set of new experiences that reform and shape the new version of you. And it takes energy to go ahead and molt that old skin off of you. It takes energy to let go of what has hardened and has protected you for some time. However, as snakes do, there will be periods of your life where you are forced to molt because some things are holding you in awkward positions that don't allow you your full range of, say, being. That's where I'm at. And so I'll show up. And as long as I continuously show up, that's better than the people that don't show up. And it's one thing to talk, it's another thing to do. And thinking it is also part of the process. If you can think it, you can do it. Or at least that's what some quotes online say. I get a little... Just because you can think it doesn't mean you have to do it. That's true. Some people think of going to the gym all the time, but they don't go. Go outside. Literally, you don't even have to go anywhere. Stand up and just do a squat. Stand up and jump. Stand up and do some physical activity. Let's go ahead and start stripping away all these notions that you have to have something to get there. You don't have to necessarily be in the gym to work out. You can use the environment that you already have around you to go ahead and begin constructing that lifestyle that you have been wanting, that you have been seeking. And these small shifts, they're small, can go ahead and lead drastically to that life that you have been seeking. And if you believe that it will not get there, I will say that there's probably an experience in trying that will lead you to better outcomes in some other aspect of your life. You'll learn more about yourself, about you, You that's not influenced by social media, by your parents, by the people around you, your friends, but entirely who you are. Your being, your entity. And that is beautiful. To know yourself so deeply down to your core that you understand that there's going to be periods again, like where you will shed skin, where you will have to endure difficult moments in your life, and you have to understand that this is a part of this character's skin, and you are okay to leave environments that are atrocious for you. You are okay to leave something that continues to hinder you and you put blame on. You're okay to walk away from that. You are okay to walk away from those materialistic desires that hold on to you. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to take those moments of solitude and silence when no one else is influencing you to truly get a grasp on how that thing is interacting with your life. And most times it is simply just the negative mindset you have towards the materialistic item that makes it negative. I think a great example in my own life is a specific brand of cookies where I would eat excessively, and I just believe they were bad, so we wouldn't keep them in the house. I wouldn't buy them anymore and avoided them. However, just avoiding it did not confront it. I had to sit down and go ahead and tell myself that this is okay in moderation, that this is okay to have every so often, that I do personally want this in my life. However, for it to fit in my life, it has to fit in this specific way. And you cannot do this, or rather, a lot more communication needs to occur when you have people like in your life like this. Or you want someone in your life, however, something is not sitting too well with you. And before you just decide to run away and dismiss the problem or keep on pushing it down, underneath all the layers that you have carrying on that always suddenly crack and suddenly leaves you in a worse position, rather than if you had just, what the true answer is speak, is talk about it. You will then learn that all the fear inside your mind was always possible to overcome as you go ahead and traverse the mind battle rather than the physical one. And it's a duality between the two. Sometimes it's more mental than it is really physical. There's a lot of learning that I must do, especially about myself, about who I am as a person, what I want in my life, and how I will navigate and traverse the extreme amount of diversity that is present around me. A lot of your problems can be solved. I won't say exactly how, because then you're just going to point a finger at me and use me as an excuse for why your problems are still lingering. Go communicate, go talk it out. And sometimes when you talk it out, the harder pill to swallow is really that that person doesn't want to be in your life, and they've been envisioning something entirely different, separate from you being included in their life, and that's a hard pill to swallow. However, if you love them deeply, you'll understand and allow them to go through the story of their life with that notation, and maybe one day they'll realize that they do want to include you in their life, and they may come back. But if they are coming and running back because everything was stripped away from them because of their faults, and you realize that really they treated you poorly, that it wasn't the greatest thing in the world, don't give them the opportunity to come back into your life. You're nothing more than a resetting stepping stone, a quote-unquote rebound for their life. And well, if you wish to be a rebound, and I'm not talking just about relationships, but because you know you can enjoy the moment with them, because you love them unconditionally enough to go ahead and just have that moment and appreciate that singular moment, go ahead and be that. That's okay. Because you love them unconditionally. You love them to the point where it's okay for them to come back into this life. However, you have standards in which they cannot cross. The boundaries that you have around you that are well defined. And as soon as they cross it, you're okay with them being kicked out of your life, because they're not respecting the person that you have become with all the time that has passed. Always remember, the time is going to pass anyways. Whether you are keeping up with it or not. And truthfully, there is no really keeping up with it. It's really your speed, your tempo for life. And you may say, well, I have to do it before this certain time. Well then, there's your deadline. Get moving. You already know when the last due date is. So go ahead and get there as fast as you can. Get there as smoothly as you can, as roughly. There's many ways of getting there. You will get there. Keep your mind and your eyes on the prize. Juggle it with all the other things that you want going on in your life. And you might begin to realize as you do all this and all the things that you have been juggling, there's less and less that you want to go ahead and not worry about. And what's most important is to not get too selfish. You'll build up a bunch of negative karma in this process. You got to understand that everybody is walking their own life story the way that they choose to. And you may say, I didn't choose this. I believe you sit down long enough and reflect on the whole trajectory of your entire life, you'll begin to realize that a lot of the things that are going on inside your life were through actions that you yourself did completely by yourself. Because the words that are coming out of someone's mouth are just words. They are words, and how you feel about them is entirely how you feel. Just because someone has a negative tone in their voice about something doesn't inherently mean that you have to go ahead and react equivalently to their expression. You define how you will go ahead and react to those words. You're beautiful. You are strong. Now, I'm at the gym. I'm going to go ahead and continue to integrate this activity into my life. And this action of talking out and splurring out all these words, well, I would like to be remembered by my family, by loved ones, in any manner. And if this is a time capsule of my being, because I believe the internet and I believe the digital world will live long past me, even with all the natural storms and the increased amount of them within the last 20 years. There's people out there that really love technology, and they're going to create technology that endures these storms. Because it's a place where people have connected, a place where people have lots of memories as well too. We have memories both in this physical world and digital world. And the shared, duality between having those in both worlds is beautiful. And those who opt for only physical is beautiful. Those who only opt for digital, it's beautiful in their own ways. Now, I've talked for quite some time, and I actually need to go into the gym. So, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I realized my outro kind of was copying someone else, so I apologize. It's just, you learn why you do specific things, and as you've learned to do specific things or heard specific things, you kind of go ahead and copy them. So my sign off is going to go ahead and be the thing I've been kind of putting in my comment sections. We'll figure it out as I go, every single time. All right. Mwah.